John chapter 5, I'm reading from verse 1 through 15. And chapter 5 reads, and I'm reading from the Voice translation. And it said, when these events were completed, so Jesus led his followers to Jerusalem, where they would celebrate a Jewish feast together. In Jerusalem, they came upon a pool by the sheep gate, surrounded by 5 covered porches. So it said in Hebrew, this place is called Beersheba. I don't know if I'm really pronouncing that word right or not, but okay, yeah. Okay, Bathsheba. It is say crowds of people lined the area, lying around the porches, and all of these people were disabled in some way. Say some were blind, lame, paralyzed, or plagued by diseases, and they were waiting for the waters to move. So from time to time, a heavenly messenger would come to stir the water in the pool. Whoever reached it, the water first, and got in after it, was agitated and who was uh, agitated and would be healed on his or her disease. It says in the crowd, Jesus noticed the one particular man who had been living with his disability for 38 years. So he knew this man had been waiting for a long time. So Jesus spoke to the man, and he spoke that he said, where are you here in this place hoping to be healed? And he responded, kind sir, I wait, like all these people, for the waters to stir, but I cannot walk. If I am to be healed in the waters, someone must carry me into the pool without a helping hand. Someone else beats me to the water edge each time that it is stirred. So Jesus responded, said, stand up and carry your mat and walk. And at the moment Jesus uttered these words, he said a healing energy coursed through the man and returned life to his limbs. He stood and walked for the first time in 38 years. But this was the Sabbath day, and any work, including carrying the mat, was prohibited on this day. So the Jewish leaders questioned the man about his healing, and they was asking him, must you be reminded that it is the Sabbath? Said you are not allowed to carry your mat today. Said the former disabled man responded, who the man just got healed responded, said the man who healed me gave me specific instructions to carry my mat and go. And so he responded, saying that who is the man who gave you these instructions? How can we identify him? Verse 13 reads that the man genuinely did not know who it was that healed him. Said in the midst of the crowd and the excitement of this renewed health, Jesus had slipped away. Sometime later, Jesus found him in the temple and again spoke to him. And Jesus spoke to him saying, take a look at your body, that it has been made whole and strong. So avoid a life of sin, or else a calamity greater than any disability may befall you. Then the man went immediately to tell the Jewish leaders that Jesus was the mysterious healer. And to say, now I just read you John 5, verse 1 through 15. Yet today's scripture is referring to, well, I entitled it, Get Up. And so the Lord have, at the beginning of I like to say every year, of every year, the Jewish people will have every year a specific pool, I believe within the center of the city, where that they will go and go gather. And so all of the disabled people, or the people that was looking for a miracle or those type of things, they will all be going to this pool. And so no, the whole tradition behind going to the pool was that they wanted to get healed. So they hoped that when the water started boiling, similarly to this like a jacuzzi, that they would that one will get in, and the one who got in will get healed from his sickness. And so every year this would carry on. Um, but however, this specific year, Jesus had decided to take his disciples on a journey, and this was one of the journeys that he took them on. And so, as he had took them on this journey, um, Jesus had actually stopped by this pool. And because I believe that Jesus remembered this pool because this was his area, I believe, where he grew up around. And so as he had came to this pool, and Jesus still saw that the crowds and the people were still lining up like always. And then and just as quickly, and he noticed this one particular man that was sitting by the pool. And so in this particular man, I believe Jesus probably remembered the man when he was a little boy. And Jesus had to be under the age of 30 something. So Jesus actually probably remembered this man, same man who was sitting there by the river. And so Jesus had a conversation with them, and he had asked them that, are you here in this place still hoping to be healed? Which you'll read in verse 6. And then the disabled man responded to him in verse 7, letting him know that, yeah, I've come here to get healed, but the issue is that no one would help me, or else that no one would assist me into getting me into the pool. And so all of us, in some form or fashion or way, yeah, we are came, rather it was to a doctor to get a diagnosis, or else it was to a dentist to get our a root canal pulled, or whether it was if we went to the grocery store to get groceries. But whichever your situation is, normally we normally go to church to receive a message or to receive a sermon. But on this particular time, Jesus was asking him, "Why did you? You mean, oh, I noticed that you're still here. You're still coming faithfully. You're still coming to the pool." And so most of us are still faithful when it comes to still putting in our tithes, or when it comes to us still praying, or else when it comes to us still reading our word, and we still have a tendency of wanting to receive something. Not that it is not nothing wrong with receiving something, but however, I believe Jesus was making the point was that he was coming here with the traditional thing in mind, in hoping that if he will come to the river, that someone will pick up and take him to it. And so all of us have a perception of that if we do this, then this should happen, or if I pray long enough, then I mean I should get healed, or else that if I read enough, then I mean I should something magical should God should move on in my life. And so we all have the tendency of assuming that just because we do something for so long, that things is just going to move, going to happen. And so here's this man coming to the pool for 38 years, and he was faithful just like any other man or woman was, and he was just hoping that he would get his healing too. And so as he's come here, Jesus says to him, was that, oh, you come here, and what's very interesting is Jesus didn't look at at his determination when he spoke to him, and he said to him that I want you to get up and take your mat and walk. And so sometimes in life we may be in a situation in life where we feel like we've been through these things and we feel like we deserve a way out. But there's a thing that Jesus came to the man at the pool, and he wanted him to understand that the way in how I want to deliver you out may not be the same way how everyone else got out. And so, frankly, as you notice, everyone within the scriptures who came to the pool got in the pool to receive their healing. But however, when Jesus walked to this man, Jesus didn't want this man to get healed the same way how everybody else got healed. In other words, he didn't want him to thank the Jewish leaders for him giving time to dump in the pool, but however, more of the less, Jesus wanted to receive the blessing, or should I say, the testimony from him, by him knowing that I got healed differently from everybody else. And so, what I want to say to you is maybe God wants to heal you differently from how He healed everybody else. And so we tend to go into our dark times and our most weak times, and we tend to forgot to respond to us the same way. But I like the way how the fact that we have to grow up in the Lord, and knowing that the Lord used to respond to me in this way because I was a child then. So how my mother used to respond to me when I was a child, when I would cry, she would give me anything I want, or she'd give me a bottle to put it in my mouth so I can be quiet. But now when I became a teenager and I have a problem, I know I can go to her, and now we can talk out the problem. So now I can get more information, so she can let me know what I need to do it. And so sometimes here Jesus was talking to the man and explaining to him that the way and how I want you to be healed is very differently from how everyone else got healed. And so when Jesus spoke to the man, Jesus was speaking to the man from hoping how he got healed like everyone else. But he spoke to him towards his future, and he said to him to pick up your mat and walk. And the scripture said, and when Jesus spoke it, and immediately the man body and limbs in his body straightened up and he was finally able to get up and walk. And so when he finally got up to walk, now the Jewish leaders, the ones who will put on this traditional thing, it was very spectacle of the fact that he got up and he got healed differently from everyone else. And so they may have been alarmed in knowing that if everyone found out that he got healed differently from the water, then we might lose our following, that we might lose our congregation, or we might lose the people from believing in this pool. But so when they approached him and asked him, how did you get healed, or who have healed you? And the man could not remember who healed him, or what for. But however, the very interesting thing is when Jesus told him to get up and go to church, and go to church healed. So in other words, Jesus did not want him to walk into his same lifestyle the same way. And so most of us may have same mindsets that we and so where the Lord wants us to enter into our life again, but with a new mindset, with a new praise, with a new worship. And so as he go to church, and probably the people at the church probably have remembered him being the man who was once who couldn't walk, or people have to wait on. And but now when he comes in as a man that's fully capable of walking himself. And so you might have guessed people were talking about who had healed him, who had healed him. And so it is very very likely that that the man did get healed from, said from the Lord healing him. So maybe that there are some things that are actually in your life that you may want to get healed from, but the Lord may not want to heal you like He healed everyone else. I mean, I would like to say from my own personal testimony, when I had was when the doctor the scout to take me under the knife for my surgery. Uh, I remember my doctor saying, well, one of the doctors saying to my grandmother that uh, that this is that normally people that go through this surgery normally will only survive 50% of the chance. So there's not a big possibility that he's going to even walk again. And so as I overheard this outside of the room, now I told God to go ahead and take me home with them, because I didn't want to go through me going through the surgery and then me being inside of a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And so, I already know what it felt like with to be disabled, like the man in the Bible. I know what it feels like, uh, where to be, I want to say, waited on, or to be, looked down upon. And so just like this situation, I was just like the man in the Bible, where I was complaining about what folks didn't do for me, or what folks couldn't do for me. And so, however, I like the scripture, because when Jesus came to the man, He didn't ask him nothing about his disability, but Jesus spoke to him and said to him that I am commanding you to get up and walk. And so when God healed me on that day, when I after my surgery, uh it's like it was very clear to me that Jesus wanted me to get up and walk. And so with this disabled man, the same thing. And it was another thing I wanted to point out. Even though that the man got healed, it was kind of unnormal for him to know how to get up and to walk again, because he been sick his whole life. And so with someone been sick, or they been down and out for so long, they begin to build their life around their sickness. And so when Jesus healed the man, he had to learn to adapt to a new him. uh, and so, but however, when he adapted, then that's when the folks was able to see what Jesus has done for him. Yeah, I have seven fold like blessings that I do want to speak, yeah, into your life. Number one, I speak blessings of health for you and your family. Uh, Number two is that I speak blessings of deliverance from any habits that you have in your life. Blessings number three is I speak blessings of peace to your mind from anybody or anything that may be disturbing you. Number four, I speak blessings of salvation to any friends or loved ones. Number five, I speak comfort to any person hurting, lonely, bereaved, or confused. And number six, I speak blessings of finances, debt cancellations, prosperities, economic empowerment to all of God's people according to His riches and glory. And number seven, I speak blessings. I speak blessings of anointings and promotion in your life, to complete your life, to complete your excitement, to move forward in your purpose.